Yeah. MD, JPB, it's only right, baby.
Yeah, why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go on, run it back.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of What Ifs, and I'm back here with another video. Today I am doing What If Naofumi had the Sharingan Part 4. And for those of you who are asking when I'm going to post the next What If Deku could edit quirks, I honestly don't know because, yeah, I just don't know. The series has become so popular at this point that I feel if I don't like release it soon, I'm legitimately going to get bombarded by y'all just telling me to hurry it up already. But that's just the stress that comes with making content like this, you know. I'm trying to get past that. I'm trying to be more healthy. I'm trying to divide up my time, which is also why I'm not posting as much. Back then, it was fun because I literally had nothing else to do, but now I have school. And honestly, I don't want my grades to go down or anything, so, you know. I'm sure most of you understand it, like what I mean. It's just really stressful. So I'm trying to divide up my time more responsibly. So I will be posting less, but I will be posting nonetheless. So, you know, yeah, let's get right into this video. This What If is suggested a lot, but I never get to do it as much as the others. So I'm trying to give it more attention. So here it is. If this gets enough likes, I might just post another part 5 as the next video. Then I'll get to other series like What If Deku could edit quirks. I'll probably start like scripting it soon. It's gonna be fun. I can already tell it's gonna be fun just writing it because Deku is going to destroy people, I tell you. Anyway, sorry about any background noise, by the way. People have things to do, and you can't blame them for that. Of course, it's gonna be loud. Let's try to get past that and focus on the video. All right, let's get right into it. Last time we left off, Naofumi and Raphtalia finally faced the waves of calamity. Of course, to them it was nothing, as they easily took care of the monsters that descended. In the end, they protected the villagers in the surrounding area while the other heroes took care of the boss. After this, Naofumi was forced into a battle with Motoyasu, the spear hero. During this fight, he awakened a new power and his Sharingan evolved. He crushed Motoyasu. Then he left, and now him and Raphtalia plan to head to Silkveld soon. Now, get back into the actual story. After Naofumi fought and won, he and Raphtalia headed back to their inn. And all through the night, Raphtalia cried as Naofumi comforted her. Pretty soon, the next day comes, and they pack up and go to the slave trader to purchase something new that caught Naofumi's eye while he was purchasing Raphtalia. We go to the slave trader shop. They enter, and the slave trader's eyes glisten. "Oh, Sir Hero, you've came back after all. What are you looking for? This? Oh. He stares at Raphtalia, interested. "Knock it off, you're creeping her out," yells Naofumi. The slave trader then says, "My apologies, it's just that I can't believe that little girl has grown so much. Would you consider selling her back to me?" As soon as she hears this, Raphtalia looks at Naofumi with anger. Naofumi then says, "What? I'm not gonna give you back? You really think I would do that to you?" She keeps staring him down as Naofumi starts to get a bit uncomfortable. The slave trader watches, getting only more and more intrigued because they have grown so close they almost look like equals. He had never seen this before. "I certainly have an interesting patron, don't I?" thinks the slave trader. Soon Naofumi then gets to the point and decides to buy a monster egg. Then they get out of there because Raphtalia does not like being reminded that she actually used to be cooked up, like all cooped up in the shop. Now as they leave, they buy some food and leave the city because as I have stated, they are tired of the kingdom of Melromarc and they want to go to a place where they're actually accepted. But before they leave, Raphtalia reminds Naofumi that they need some potions and stuff like that. Naofumi then says, "Do I really need them? I can just make my own." "But you don't have any ingredients," responds Raphtalia. Naofumi then says, "Fine, I just didn't want to go back. I hate this place." In the end, he is dragged by Raphtalia back into the city and they go buy some ingredients. When they go to the shop owner thanks Naofumi for helping a certain relative of his, and so he gives him a book containing medicine making instructions and a lot of recipes, you know. He also lowers the price for what he wanted to buy. The owner then says, "By the way, you should stop by the magic shop. The owner of that place wants to thank you as well." Now, while heading to the magic shop, Naofumi then notices that he can't read the book at all. Raphtalia then comforts him, saying, "Don't worry, I'll teach you what I can, and with your Sharingan, you'll pick it up quickly." Naofumi then says, "What would I do without you?" Raphtalia then giggles and blushes a bit as they head over to the magic shop, and the woman who owns the shop thanks them as well. She was about to also check their magical, attributes, I guess you could say, but she then realizes that the both of them are actually bursting with magical power, or what chakra would be like. Chakra is what Naofumi has, but it's the same thing as magic, basically, but you know what I mean. Get back to the point, sorry. "Am I right to assume that you can both use high-level magic?" asks the owner. Naofumi then replies, "I guess you could say that, but even though I know all my abilities, I don't know about Raphtalia, but so far she has displayed a talent for light magic." The owner then says, "I can help you with that. Follow me." They follow her to her crystal bowl, and it turns out that Raphtalia has the capability for dark magic as well as light magic. Raphtalia is excited by this and starts to get really happy, but since she won't really know how to use her powers that well, the owner also gives them a ton of books, otherwise known as grimoires, containing magic spells and things like that. "It's times like these that make me wish my eye could translate languages," says Naofumi. He then sighs in sadness, but is glad that Raphtalia is so happy. After this, the two finally leave as Naofumi starts to just feel like his worries have disappeared. Traveling on the open road with nothing holding him back, it truly felt like another world. Now, during their travels, Naofumi starts to get a strange feeling and he can't explain it. Thinking that it's not a big deal, he decides to ignore it and they continue on. However, one day as they're resting and Naofumi is being taught by Raphtalia, the monster that he had purchased, the monster egg, starts to hatch. "Well, that was quick," yells Naofumi, surprised. Just as he says this, the egg cracks open and out comes out a tiny little Filolio. But of course they don't know what kind of monster she was yet. The little monster then jumps on Naofumi's head full of excitement. "She sure is lively. I wonder what kind of monster she is," says Raphtalia. Naofumi then replies, "Well, we can ask someone along the way, but for now, you know what's more important?" Raphtalia then says, "Let me guess, we're gonna power level, as you call it." "What's wrong, you don't like getting stronger?" asks Naofumi. Raphtalia then replies, "It's not that, it's just that you get a little bit too enthusiastic." She then thinks back on a certain day when Naofumi fought monsters for 2 days straight, and of course she was forced to come along with him. Naofumi then says, "I said I was sorry. Fine. Let's make a promise. When you want me to stop, I'll stop, and if I don't heed your words, then you can make me do one thing." Hearing this, Raphtalia gets an idea, and this makes her blush. "Are you getting sick again?" asks Naofumi. "Your face is completely red." She slightly hides her face in embarrassment and says it's nothing. Then they make a deal and start hunting. Now during their battle, Naofumi tried something new. If the system won't let him use other weapons, then why not just make a weapon purely out of chakra? Since he doesn't have normal magic. The only reason why he doesn't have to do hand signs is because the system helps him. But even so, he doesn't have magic, he has chakra. Just wanted to clarify that. And for those of you who might be wondering, "Oh yeah, he's not doing any hand signs," it's because the system is just letting him use it like magic. Just wanted to tell y'all that. Anyway, the element that he thinks of is lightning, and when they come across another monster, he tells Raphtalia to just let him have this one. "Concentrate. Just think of a sword. Then mold the chakra," thinks Naofumi. Lightning then starts coursing out of his body as bits of lightning already start hitting the monster, and it's causing a bit of damage already. Raphtalia then thinks, "What is he doing this time?" Just as she says this, Naofumi raises his arm and a light just bursts out, blinding Raphtalia and the Filolio who was sitting on her head. Soon, when they're able to see again, they see Naofumi who is breathing a bit heavily. But he slowly catches his breath and he realizes that the system isn't restricting him. He done it. He formed a sword using his lightning aptitude. "I did it!" yells Naofumi. "It's been so long. Now I can finally try this." He stares down the monster who was growling and snarling at him out of pure instinct. The monster knew that if he was hit, it was hit by this guy. Yeah, it was just dead. So it tried to attack first and, did the first move. Naofumi swiftly dodges to the left, and then he spins to the right, and by the time the monster notices that its attack had failed, Naofumi's lightning sword came right at him with intense speed. In a moment, it is slashed like just half horizontally through its mouth until it reaches its tail. It then explodes everywhere, splattering Naofumi with blood. For a while, Raftalia and the Filolio are both so shocked that they simply had their mouths wide open while staring at him like they just saw a ghost or something. "That was awesome!" yells Naofumi. Naofumi starts to scream like a child, and he's clearly happy and very excited. Raftalia then looks at the Filolio. "Yep, this is our master." "Wait, what should we name this little guy?" She then grabs her off her head and starts to pat the Filolio while thinking about it. Well, it wouldn't hurt to just let him celebrate for a bit. We'll think of something later. Now, soon Naofumi stops celebrating and acting like a kooky, crazy bastard, and they move on. For now, he doesn't know what to name this move, but he does keep spamming it as they just come across more monsters. But then he realizes that it actually takes up a lot of chakra. But considering how much chakra he has, it's not that big of a deal. At the beginning, I said he had like 5,000 in almost all stats. That included chakra. He has a lot of energy. He's almost Uzumaki level. Anyway, regardless, he plans to now use it as his final attack, so let's move on. The three are traveling, and they found out what the Filolio should eat along the way. They just asked someone, and the person was even nice enough to give them some beans, and they fed her as they went along. Pretty soon, though, they both start to realize that she is growing really fast, even though it's only been a few days. She's already level 25. Naofumi, who realizes this, decides to start training her already, and they take a rest stop. Naofumi then tells the Filolio to get in position, but even though he thought it would be more scared, due to the Sharingan's effect, it looks fearless. "Alright, let's go." But just as he says this, he feels a strange presence, and so does Raftalia. 4 masked strangers appear, and they're wearing all black. Raftalia is already just ready to rush forward when Naofumi puts his hand up. "I don't think they're here to fight." A shadow then says, "Indeed, we come here on the decree of the Queen of Melromarc." At least that's what I think they're called. They're called like the Shadows or whatever. If I get it wrong, tell me in the comments, please. Anyway, both Naofumi and Raftalia are shocked by this. Raftalia then yells, "What more do you people want after everything Naofumi has been put through? Everything you put him through? Why do you still treat him like he's at your beck and call or something?" Naofumi then asks, "Is that why you're here? To make me go back to that place? Well, forget it." The shadow then says, "Yes, you're right. That is what we intended to make you do. But this isn't an order as much as it is a cry for help. We've been watching you and your party and your interactions with the king as well as the other heroes and reporting back to the queen. We fear that without you, as the waves get stronger, the other heroes will fail." Now Fumina says, "So what? I have shown my complete disdain for your little kingdom. I'm ready to annihilate it at any moment if you try anything funny. It makes you think I would help you." The shadow then replies, "The queen expected this, and so she told us to say these exact words. If you won't do it for the royal family, do it for the people." The shadows then leap away and just disappear and disperse, and Naofumi starts to clench his fist in frustration and ponders this. "If I do leave, there's no doubt in my mind that something bad is gonna happen. Those idiots can't take care of themselves, much less take care of a whole kingdom. Damn it!" He then mounts the Filolio and tells Raftalia to get on. Raftalia then says, "Don't tell me." Naofumi says, "We're going back to Melromarc." Now we skip to the two riding on the Filolio at fast speeds. Raftalia then asked, "Why are you doing this? They won't stop hurting you, and you know that, so why?" Naofumi then says, "I don't know, maybe I'm just an idiot, but I can't help it." Raftalia then says, "Well, you know they're too stubborn to listen. Well then, we'll make them listen. I'm done fucking around," says Naofumi. Now, if you're wondering why he's doing this, it's because there are people that hate him, obviously, but then there are people like those people from Loot Village who he saved, and they've seen his good side, so it would be messed up to just let those people just end up in ruin because of these, two dumbasses. Or actually, let me clarify that, all these dumbasses. Now, they keep on riding, and along the way, they take a few breaks, and soon after 2 days, they're close to reaching Melromarc, and they can already see Loot Village, and once again, they decide to take a little rest there. Now, Fumi then says, "Sorry, Asuka, I made you overdo it a bit. Later, I'll buy you a big lunch, okay?" Asuka then screams with her heart just filled with content, And along the way, if you're wondering who Asuga is, it's Philo in this version. Naofumi realized how fast this Fillolio was and named her Asuga, which means swift like the wind, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong and there are Japanese speakers out there, I'm sorry, but this is the closest I could find. I'm trying to make the name meaningful. Alright. Anyway, this time it was meaningful in my opinion because you didn't just choose her name based on her race. I mean, Philo, that's just based off of Fillolio. That's not really creative, but it is adorable, I guess. Anyway, getting off track. This time he considered it for a long time, and I think Asuga is loving it. Now, the three start to approach the village, and Raftalia remarks that the speed of Asuga is incredible. She was almost as fast as Naofumi when he gets serious. Naofumi then replies, yeah, and honestly speaking, it's a bit weird, but she's useful, and her fur is so comfortable. Raftalia then says, you're making a weird face again. Naofumi scoffs at this as both Raftalia and Asuga laugh at him, just jokingly. They're not making fun of him for real, but you know what I mean. Now they enter the town, and when they do, they see the villagers outside listening to someone about reconstructions, and it was none other than Mine and Motoyasu. Naofumi gets irritated just by their presence, but then he decides to pry into this, and he asks a villager what's going on. The villager then says, oh, shield hero, well, it seems the king is helping us with construction. Oh, then why would he send these two dumbasses? Asked Naofumi. Just as he asks this, his questions are answered as Motoyasu declares himself the new lord of the village. Naofumi is shocked by this. He starts to think, this idiot doesn't know anything about being a leader. Why is he being put in charge of a whole village? This enrages him, and he activates his Mangekyo, instantly releasing enough bloodlust to make everyone cower in fear. But this time he only released it on the soldiers that were on Mine and Motoyasu's side, as well as, Motoyasu and Mine. He can control it more this time. It's been a while, so he has full control over that whole bloodlust thing. Anyway, Motoyasu especially remembers this feeling of fear and just weakness. It's him, isn't it? Thinks Motoyasu. He looks forward and sees Naofumi approaching as the villagers make way for him and his party. Mine then thinks, damn it, why him? Why him of all people? Naofumi then asked, what the hell are you doing here? Motoyasu, while stuttering, then says, what do you think this place is my new base. From now on, I'm the lord of this place. Naofumi then powers down his bloodlust and smirks. Lord? Please. He then appears right in front of him, Motoyasu with blinding speed while holding up his chin with his pointer finger. You can't even take care of yourself. Mine then interrupts, how dare you speak to the... Well, what are you gonna do about it? Says Naofumi. Hearing these words make her shake as all of a sudden the shadows appear once again and urge the shield hero to just calm the hell down, but the villagers don't exactly disagree with him because they were also informed about how the taxes were gonna work. That's a lot of money to just come in and get out. That's just ridiculous, and they are not content in the least. This is when Mine abruptly starts to shout and declare that, they fight for the territory with a race. The shadows hearing this disagree, but when they're about to show the decree of the queen, Naofumi stops them. Forget it. Just let them have one last struggle. Besides, it's not like they're gonna win. Also, can I have the decree? The shadows then agree because it seems like he's got this, and judging from his actions and how Naofumi is in this version, he's just much more superior to everyone in this kingdom, as has been shown by, everything he's done since he came to this world. So they give him the decree and they leave. Or, so everyone thought, except for Naofumi, because he knows they're still around, but they gotta act like ninjas. Sorry, I'm getting off track again. Naofumi then says, now, let's do this. Asuga. Asuga then walks up and death clears Motoyasu, and of course, before they start, Mine asks for a few minutes to get ready. Now, the villagers are cheering as it seemed that the shield hero was going to, just protect them. Now, of course, Naofumi's party felt very suspicious about their demand, but Naofumi already planned for this. Raftalia then asks, they're definitely planning something, aren't they? Naofumi then answers, well, obviously, but don't worry, I have a plan. Now we cut to them being shown the course, and while Mine explains the rules, Naofumi creates shadow cones that go around the course without anyone noticing. By now he has already noticed what Mine is trying to do because the Sharingan makes his senses enhanced by a shit ton. and he can hear like everything she's plotting, even though she doesn't think that Naofumi can hear her. And before they start, Raptalia pets Asuka and tells her that, she's putting her trust in her and to take care of Naofumi best she can. The two then line up with their animals, and Motoyasu still wants to talk smack. He then says, "You really think you can beat me with an overgrown chicken? Maybe you're stronger than me, but now you're just being delusional." Naofumi ignores him, saying, "Asuka, you know what to do." By the way, if you don't know what the goal of the race is and you forgot, it's to make 3 laps around the village, and then you will win. Just wanted to clarify that. Now, when he completely ignores Motoyasu, it pisses him off, but before he could talk again, the village chief begins the race and they start. Asuka is easily beating the dragon that Motoyasu is riding. Her speed is incredible and she's not even trying yet. Now, as they make the first turn, they see a guard activating a spell. Naofumi smirks at this, and out from behind the guard comes a shadow clone that kills him instantly. They just don't give up, do they? Well, it's fun to see them try, thinks Naofumi. Asuka then increases her speed and Motoyasu can no longer see them. Along the way, they also see another guard trying to slow them down with magic, and once again, he gets killed by a shadow clone instantly. At this point, Naofumi is just laughing his ass off. Meanwhile, Mine doesn't know what's going on and her plans aren't working. She's thinking, damn it, how is he still going on so strong? How can a mere Filolio be this fast? Raptalia sees Mine full of uneasiness and stress, and she's biting her nails a lot. Raptalia slightly chuckles, and Mine notices this and only gets more and more mad. By this point, Asuka and Naofumi had already done 2 laps and they were on their last lap. They were so close to the finish line when all of a sudden, a huge hole opens beneath them. But this is when Asuka shows her talent for magic and just flies up with just enough wind magic and propels herself forward before she fell in the hole. Naofumi, as well as everyone, they're just shocked. Naofumi then thinks, magic? She can use magic? Since when? Man, this creature is something else. He then yells, "Good job, after this you're getting extra food." Asuka is feeling more and more happy as she runs faster than ever, and she instantly finishes while Motoyasu and his dragon just finished their second lap. And now, of course, as in the original, they run forward without realizing that there was a hole and they fall in it, and Naofumi laughs wholeheartedly. The shadows then reappear and help Motoyasu out, and at this point, he is just full of rage. No like fear, no embarrassment, he is just pissed. This is when he hears a voice, and instantly he is in a black space. "Do you want to beat him?" Motoyasu then asked, "Who is this?" "Answer me." Motoyasu then yells, Of course I do, but..." Before he could finish his sentence, he starts to scream and he bursts with magical power. He then jumps out of the hole and lands back down in front of Naofumi and cracks the ground as he lands. "You cheated," yells Motoyasu. Naofumi then gets off Asuka and tells the villagers to get behind him. "What do you mean cheated? And what's with the new look?" Motoyasu has red marks all over him and his spear is sparking with red lightning, and he has unlocked the Rage Spear. Mine is worried as she has never seen Motoyasu act like this. "Stop getting in my way. You are not better than me. You and those filthy eyes of yours are pissing me off." Naofumi then gets pissed off himself and he starts to just bleed from his eyes. Filthy? Filthy? These eyes are my strength, the only reason why I ever survive. They protected me from idiots like you and people I thought were my comrades. I don't know why I spared you back then. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing. Naofumi then bursts with green chakra, and from behind comes what others can only describe as an elemental. This time it's taking more shape and it starts to grow what look like, muscle fibers. This brings back bad memories from Motoyasu, but he chooses to ignore all this. "Now that I have this new power, you won't ever beat me again," yells Motoyasu. He rushes in really fast and it actually surprises Naofumi a bit. Naofumi thinks, not bad. But as Motoyasu goes to strike the Susanoo, he is punched by the arm and it is just slammed to the ground like a freaking piece of gum, and he is picked up and there he stays in the Susanoo's hand, staring into Naofumi's eyes. All of a sudden, Naofumi starts to remember a faint and certain word. It felt so familiar, like he had always known it. And then he says it. that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Welcome to the end of the video. Thank y'all for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with anybody else who may like what is. Turn on post notifications because you know YouTube messes that up sometimes. Also, just wanted to mention, and again, this is amazing. We are close to 6K already. If you don't know, we're already at 5.k-ish, meaning we're halfway to 6K already, which is amazing. And y'all are amazing. So thank you. And those of you who even like wait this long for me to post a video, thank you for your support and for your patience. I know it's annoying. I also watch what is. I know how annoying it can be to wait for a series. Here is this part. Hope you like it. Like I said, if it gets enough likes, I will post part 5 next instead of What If Asta Was a Conduit. Sorry for those of you who wanted that video, but people love this series a lot more. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to bed and just sleep because it's 11 at the time that I'm recording this. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video, and that will be around 4 to 5 days. I'm just gonna be on my normal schedule now. It helps me. Yeah, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Stay indoors, and sneeze into like a tissue on your arm, like your arm or your elbow. I mean, don't like get anyone like infected with your germs. Also down in the comments, I'm not allowed to say stuff like this, but I'm not going to. Some of you have one of you has given me bad news. Sorry about messing that up. And to you, I hope that things get better. I'm honestly sorry. I'm not gonna say what he told me because that's his own business and private. But I'm sorry for what happened, and I hope things get better. I really do. Yeah, stay safe, y'all. Bye.